Hi, Algebra 2. This is Unit 5, Lesson 6, so it's the last lesson in this chapter. And today we're going to talk about mortgage payments. So mortgage payments are typically money that's borrowed for houses, but it doesn't have to be for a house. It could be for like a large boat or something like that. But it's typically a large amount of money. The interest is calculated on a regular basis. Usually it's a monthly basis. And regular payments are also made on the amount of money owed so that over time the principal, and that's the amount of money that's originally borrowed, is paid off as well as any interest that's owed. So it's kind of a complicated process, but it does involve a geometric series, which is why we're doing it here. So let's just look at the basics of how a mortgage works. So let's say a person takes out a mortgage for $200,000, that's my principal, and they want to make payments of $1,600 each month to pay it off. The bank is going to charge this person 4% nominal yearly interest, but it's going to be applied monthly. So the first thing that we want to do is we're going to figure out the amount owed at the end of the first month. All right, so I'm going to take my principal, which is my $200,000, and at the end of the month, 1/12 of the interest is applied. So it's not going to be that 4%, but it's going to be 1/12 of that. So I'm going to take the 200,000 and multiply it by 1. I'm going to take my yearly interest of 0.04, but I'm going to divide it by 12. So I'm really just trying to figure out how much I owe at the end of the month. They're going to charge me interest 4% yearly, but it's going to be applied monthly. So basically the bank is making more money if they're applying it monthly. So I'm just figuring out how much money I actually owe at the end of the month. So if I put this into my calculator, 200,000 times 1 plus 0.04 divided by 12, at the end of the first month, I'm actually going to owe $200,666.67. Now you need to make a payment. I'm going to make a payment of $1,600 each month. So I'm going to take that $200,666.67 and I'm going to subtract my $1,600. So basically, after I make that payment the first month, I now owe the bank $199,066.67. So you can see I made a $1,600 payment, but that doesn't mean I owe the bank $1,600 less money than the $200,000. Part of that money goes towards paying off the principal, and part of that money goes towards the interest. So how much actually went towards the principal? That's what I'm going to figure out in part B. So I originally owed $200,000, and I now owe $199,066.67. So basically $933.33 went towards the principal, and the rest went just towards interest. So $1,600 minus the $933.33. So you can see this big chunk of money of your mortgage payment just goes towards interest. And that amount changes each month based on how much money you still owe. So in the beginning of a mortgage, more of your money is going towards interest, and then as it gets towards the end of your mortgage, more of the money is going towards the principal. Let's figure out the amount of money owed at the end of the second month. So now I don't owe the bank $200,000 anymore. I only owe them $199,066. So I'm going to figure out the interest on that, which will be a little bit less. So each month, the interest is getting a tiny bit less. All right, and then I can just do, so this is what I did before, and then I subtracted that $1,600. I'm just going to do it all in one swoop right now. So this right here on the left, this would include your principal plus your interest, but then I'm going to pay off $1,600, and that whole amount can go into my calculator. So at the end of the second month, I would only owe the bank $198,130.23. So you figure out the amount of money times the interest for that month and subtract out what you're paying them, and the remaining number will be how much I owe after that second month. So any kind of mortgage payment, I wanted you to see how it looks like month by month, but any kind of mortgage payment that we actually do, they're going to give you the formula for. So on the back, I have two different mortgage payments with two different formulas. So the first one is looking at a yearly interest rate, but it's broken down by month. So that's why I'm dividing by that 12 there. But you can see this complicated formula. M is the monthly payment, P is the amount borrowed, R is the annual interest rate, and N is the total number of payments. So the Wells family, there's a 30-year mortgage, okay? It has an annual interest rate of 3.6%, so that's my rate. So that's 0.036 is my rate. The house the family wants to purchase $152,500, but they're going to make a down payment of $15,250. So they're actually not going to take out a mortgage for $152,000. It's going to be $152,500 minus their down payment, $15,250. So they're only going to take out a mortgage for $137,250. Go back to $137,250. So this is their principal, this is their rate, and I need the number of payments. So I'm going to take out a 30-year mortgage, but I'm making payments every month. So it's really 12 times 30. So there's 360 payments. So all of those numbers are going into this formula right here. So I take my principal, and you got to be careful putting this into your calculator. The rate, 0.036, divided by the number of payments, 12, times 1 plus the rate again, 0.036, divided by 12, and to the number, N is the number of payments, that's my 360, and that whole thing is divided by 1 plus 0.036 divided by 12, and again to the nth power, 360 minus 1. So this whole thing right here goes into my calculator. Remember, you would need to put the whole top in parentheses and the whole bottom in parentheses. So you sort of need a double parenthesis if you're going to do it all at once. Otherwise, I would typically just put the whole top thing in the parentheses and click enter and get a number. And then I might put the whole bottom thing in the parentheses just to divide by the whole thing on the bottom. Otherwise, you can do them separately and then divide. And that would give you $624. So you're calculating the monthly payment. N is my monthly payment. So that is a very complicated formula that the bank uses to determine your monthly payment. Okay? And then this next problem is just a different formula, and it's just a matter of picking apart the different parts of it to make sure that you have everything you need. So Jim's looking to buy a vacation home for $172,600 near his favorite southern beach. Okay, so this is the formula right here that the bank is using. P is the principal amount of the loan. R is the monthly interest rate. So that's a little bit different. I'm not getting a yearly interest rate. I'm getting a monthly interest rate. And N is the number of monthly payments. Jim's bank offers a monthly interest rate of 0.305% for a 15-year mortgage. With no down payment, determine Jim's mortgage payment rounded to the nearest dollar. Algebraically determine and state the down payment rounded to the nearest dollar that Jim needs to make in order for his mortgage payment to be $1,100. All right, I think we're just going to do this first part here. So my principal is $172,600. My rate, I still need to move that decimal over 2 places, so it's 0.00305. And my time, again, there's 12 months in a year, but this time I'm only doing a 15-year mortgage, so there's only going to be 180 payments. All right, so I'm just using this formula right here, my principal, which is $172,600, times, on the top, I'm going to have my rate, so it's 0.00305, times 1 plus the rate, 0.00305, to the 180th power, okay, because N is the number of payments, divided by 1 plus 0.00305, again to the 180th power, minus 1. And that whole thing goes into my calculator, and that will give me my monthly payment if there's no down payment. There's a second part to this problem, but we're just going to do this first part. Okay, so this whole thing, just carefully put it into your calculator. And I already did that. My monthly payment is $1,247.49. All right, so we'll just practice a little bit of this tomorrow.